Hi, hello, mabuhay. We are the group 1 and we are going to present about the machine in histopathology that we use in ITRNC. So this is the spin tissue processor STP-120. So the superhero of lab equipment that turns chaotic specimen processing into a walk in the park. STP-120 can take your biological specimens from chemical fixation to wax infiltration faster than you can say lab coat hair problem. With its ergonomic design, fancy programmable features, and top-notch safety system, it's like having a personal lab assistant that is smarter than your average lab tech. So, let's dive in and see how we can put this trusty sidekick to work. So, the STP-120 tissue processor is designed to process biological specimen from chemical fixation to wax infiltration. Its unique design uses programmable, gentle centrifugal force to augment the normal vertical agitation processes associated with carousel processors. So, let's dive into its key features. First, the rotational agitation. Smooth and steady. Kapag nasa loob na ng reagent vessel ang basket, the process starts. It rotates steadily at 60 RPM and switches directions every 60 seconds. This movement guarantees even tissues infiltration, thorough mixing of reagents. Ano ang resulta? Mas mabilis ang processing, mas maganda ang quality ng tissues. Gusto mo ng optional shaking? Just turn it on for even better results. Second key features is the shaking. Shaking motion precise as its best. So, activate the shaking function through the control panel to add an up and down movement. This motion, when combined with rotational spinning, creates a helicoidal pattern, just like you see in the picture, for even better infiltration. So, para siyang tissue spa, precise and thorough. Walang maiiwan sa proseso. So third and last key feature is the centrifuging, the perfect finish. After infiltration, the basket rises just above the reagent level. It's still inside the vessel. It spins at 210 RPM, reversing direction every 150 seconds for a total of 60 seconds. This step ensures optimal tissue drainage and prevents reagent carryover. Clean and efficient every single time. So, ang STP-120 tissue processor ay hindi lang basta-basta machine. It's a reliable partner sa lab. With rotational spins, precision shakes, and centrifuge finale, it delivers faster, easier, and more accurate results. So say goodbye to tedious workflows and say hello to efficiency with flair. Masaya, madali, at astig. So now, let's dive into the pre-analytical phase of the machine.
In this phase, specimens are first received at the reception area. Next, all accompanying details are thoroughly reviewed, and then we also ensure that the required information is complete and accurate. Then the integrity of the specimen is verified. It's important to confirm that the appropriate preservatives, such as formalin, has been used. And upon validation, specimens and test request forms are logged into the system. Following this, a unique barcode label is generated for tracking purposes. Afterward, Specimens are forwarded to the histopathology section for processing, and these are the details logged at the reception: the accession number, the patient's name, age, date and time of receipt, the ward or room number of patient, and the type of specimen. In the meantime, specimens are stored in the designated cabinet. This is what the cabinet looks like, and they are kept until the pathologist is available to perform grossing and sectioning. Before sectioning, the specimen undergoes a gross examination by the pathologist. And some of the things we interns do for assistance include the preparation of materials. And when specimens are sectioned, they are then placed into cassettes. Lastly, to ensure accuracy, proper labeling is done for traceability and identification throughout the process.
Analytical phase. For the analytical phase, the thermoscientific spin processor Microm STP-120 is an automated tissue processor primarily used for tissue fixation, dehydration, decalcification, clearing, and infiltration. First, place the steel cassettes in the baskets. Make sure it is balanced properly. The cassettes are piled over each other in sequence to ensure proper balance. Next. Second is push the upward and downward arrow buttons to open the lid of the machine. It is used for loading and unloading of specimens. Next is Next is press the single arrow button to rotate the machine lid at a standing position. Next. Next is to load the basket in the automated tissue processor. Attach the basket in the holder properly. Next is press the upward and downward arrow button to close the lid of the machine. It is used for loading and unloading of the specimens. Once the lid is closed, press start and then lock. Repeat letters A to F until the basket went through all of the beakers. Next, there are 12 reagent beakers. One is for formalin for 2 hours, another formalin for 2 hours, 70% alcohol for 1 hour, 80% alcohol for 1 hour, 90% alcohol for 1 hour, 100% alcohol for 1 hour, and another 100% alcohol for 1 hour and 30 minutes. For acetone is for 1 hour and 30 minutes. Xylene 1 for 1 hour, Xylene 2 for 1 hour and 30 minutes, and paraffin wax 1 for 1 hour, and paraffin wax 2 for 1 hour and 30 minutes. Next is press the shake button to make sure the basket continuously agitate in the beaker to ensure proper mixing of reagents with the specimens. And lastly, specimens are now ready for embedding.
So after analytical phase, let's go to post-analytical phase. So this is the results filing and release. Once the results are finalized, they are printed and filed in the respective folders based on the type of specimen, like surgical pathology specimens, FNAB or the fine needle aspiration biopsy, IHC or the immunohistochemistry, and cell block. Then the completed results are available for release only at the reception area and not at the OPD. Afterwards, a receipt is required for the release of the results. Then, after receipt of the results, patients or their authorized representatives are asked to sign as proof of receipt.
So let's now proceed to the automation. So the spin tissue processor is basically a tool for programming the fixation, the hydration, and the paraffin infiltration of histological samples. It allows for up to 10 customizable programs to meet various processing needs. Next. So when entering the program, it is important that the machine is connected to the power supply and it must be in the stop position. So for initial step, first is to adjust settings if needed. So set the correct date, time, and the language. Then refer to the manual if adjustments are required. Second is to verify the default settings. So ensure the following factory settings meet your needs. So the paraffin bath temperature is 62 degrees Celsius. The vertical shake frequency should be every 10 minutes. Then the centrifugation time should be 60 seconds. Next is programming a processor. So first step is to enter program mode. So press program, then enter. The program light will turn on. Second is to select a program, then use the up and down keys to select a program. Press enter to confirm. Third is to set reagent vessel parameters. So the P01 indicates that program number 01 is being edited. Then the C01 indicates that the values are being assigned to our agent vessel 01. And the hours and minutes is the time the sample remain in reagent vessel 01. And we also have the A, which is for steering rate. So we have three steering rate for this machine. So 0 is no steering, 1 is steering at 60 revolution per minute, and the 2 is steering at 70 revolution per minute. Then use up and down to adjust values and enter to save. Next. So during the process, check parameters. So press down to view paraffin bath temperatures. Then press up to check the estimated end time. Next. So in stopping or ending the process, so first, the pause end on and the stop. So press stop to pause or interrupt the process. Then confirm with start to resume or press stop again to halt entirely. Second is to end or the end of program. So at the end of the process, the basket stops at the paraffin bath 12 and emits a beep. So press stop, then raise the basket holder to remove the samples. Then we should be careful because paraffin is hot, so we should handle it with care. Next.
So let's go to the clinical significance of spin tissue processor 120. So spin tissue processor 120, it plays a significant role in histopathology by automating and streamlining the preparation of tissue samples for microscopic examination. This process is crucial for obtaining accurate and reliable diagnosis in clinical practice. The clinical significance of the spin tissue processor in histopathology can be understood through the following key points. Next slide po. Then it is for cancer detection. Pathologists examine the prepared tissue samples under a microscope to look for abnormal cell growth, which is indicative of cancer. Then another is for infection or inflammation. Histopathological examination can reveal tissue changes caused by infections or chronic inflammatory conditions. Then it is for genetic or cellular abnormalities. The detailed tissue structure, once processed and embedded, helps in identifying genetic disorders, autoimmune diseases, or developmental issues. Then another is for improved efficiency and consistency. Automated processing. The spin tissue processor automates the complex steps of tissue processing, including dehydration, clearing, and filtration and embedding. This reduces manual errors and ensures more consistent results across samples. And time-saving automation speeds up the processing time, which is crucial for timely diagnosis, particularly in emergency situations, for example, intraoperative frozen section consultations. Next is enhanced quality of tissue samples. Uniform embedding. The processor ensures that tissue specimens are uniformly infiltrated with paraffin or other embedding media, which is crucial for sectioning and maintaining tissue integrity, and prevents over-dehydration by controlling the dehydration and clearing stages. The spin tissue processor prevents over-dehydration or damage to delicate tissue structures, which could lead to poor staining and interpretation. Next slide po. Another is standardization and reproducibility. The use of automated protocols ensures that every tissue sample undergoes the same processing steps, reducing the risk of variability. This is particularly important in clinical diagnostics, where reproducibility and consistency are critical for accurate results. Next slide po. It is for the support for special stains and immunohistochemistry. It prepares samples for advanced techniques. Proper tissue processing ensures that tissues are in optimal condition for special stains, immunohistochemical staining, and molecular testing. For example, proper paraffin embedding and dehydration are essential for accurate IHC results, which are used for identifying specific biomarkers in cancer or other diseases. And another is for versatility. The processed tissue can be used for a wide range of diagnostic tests, from simple H&E staining to complex IHC and FISH or the fluorescence in situ hybridization tests, which are commonly used in cancer diagnostics. Next is for higher throughput and increased diagnostic capacity. Capacity to process multiple samples. The spin tissue processor can handle multiple tissue samples at once, which is critical for high volume labs, enabling faster diagnosis and more efficient workflow. Faster turnaround times. In high demand settings such as large hospitals or research centers, the processor helps speed up the preparation of tissue samples, leading to quicker diagnostic turnaround times, which is especially important in urgent clinical situations. For example, frozen section for cancer surgery. Next is improved diagnostic accuracy. By ensuring that tissue samples are processed and embedded with high precision, the spin tissue processor helps produce well-prepared slides that allow pathologists to make accurate diagnosis. For example, well-prepared slides are crucial for detecting subtle changes in tissue architecture, which can be indicative of disease processes like cancer, infections, or inflammation. And lastly is support for research. For research application, the spin tissue processor is also beneficial for research purposes, enabling the consistent preparation of tissue samples for various experimental protocols such as studying tissue morphology, biomarkers, or disease models. So in summary, the spin tissue processor 120 helps by automating and streamlining the tissue processing steps, ensuring high quality samples for pathologists. This ultimately aids in diagnosing diseases by providing clear, well-prepared tissue sections for microscopic examination. Next slide.
We are now on quality control and maintenance. First, we have lubrication. Every 6 months, the carousel cover is raised to its uppermost position using the key. Then it is lubricated with the manufacturer supplied grease. For inspection, it is necessary to have the spin tissue processor inspected by a manufacturer authorized technician at least once per year. And for cleaning, the cleaning of the processor is done daily, as with any laboratory equipment, and immediately any spilled reagent is removed to prevent damage or staining. We have the precautions. The cover is raised. We raise the cover and turn off the power supply before cleaning. Then, avoid reagents with acetone or xylol and do not use abrasive powders. It is also important to use domestic detergents without abrasive additives. And we clean solid paraffin remains with a plastic spatula and not sharp objects. Reagent vessels, excluding baths, can also be cleaned in a dishwasher. And for paraffin baths, they can be disconnected for easier cleaning, but we must ensure that they are reconnected correctly to the power plugs. And then prevent detergent liquid from entering electrical connections and power plugs. It is also important to handle the carousel cover carefully during cleaning. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Shown is the warning. You should always confirm with the manufacturer before using any cleaning or decontamination methods or products not recommended by them. Next slide, please. We have 5 key maintenance tasks. First is cleaning, second is changing the filter, then replacing the battery, fourth is the resetting the unit, and fifth, reagents. For cleaning, when performing any maintenance or cleaning operations, always bear in mind that the reagents used may be highly inflammable and that the paraffin may reach extremely high temperatures. Second is changing the filter. Shown is the image of the filter. Ito yung mga parts ng filter so we can know how we disassemble and assemble its parts once the filter is changed. Next slide, please. Replacing the battery. This is where the battery is at. Under normal operating conditions, the battery has a very long service life. So, depende kung kailan siya mapapalitan. Fourth is the resetting of the unit. Proceed as described below to delete all the programs and restore the unit with the factory settings. The unit is turned off using the main on or off switch. Then the alarm key is held down and the unit is turned on using the main switch. And then the key is held down for 2 seconds. Lastly, the alarm key is released. It is noted that this action deletes all the programs and restores the unit to factory settings. So, kailangan mag-ingat and i-check ng maigi if it is really the right time to reset. Lastly, the reagents. It is recommended that the following reagents may only be used in the tissue processor. For fixing, we have formalin, buffered or unbuffered, and trinitrophenol. For dehydration, we have industrial alcohol, ethyl alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, butyl alcohol, and methanol. In purification, we have xylene and substitutes, trichloroethane, benzene, toluene, and acetone. Lastly, for infiltration, we have paraffin.
So now, let's proceed to the advantages. So first is the advanced ergonomic design. Ang STP-20 ay may precision mechanics na combined with user-friendly software para sa hassle-free na trabaho. Meron itong ergonomic control panel at LCD display na nagbibigay ng real-time updates tulad ng program status, vessel conditions, at paraffin bath temperature. Ito ay also, it is also fully programmable. It has also fully programmable functions, kaya pwede mong i-customize ayon sa specific needs ng laboratory. Second, it has also a spiral agitation of the cassette baskets. During infiltration, the basket automatically changes rotation every 60 seconds. This ensures even mixing ng reagent at efficient tissue infiltration, kaya mas mabilis ang processing time. Next is the versions and options available. So we have the STP-121, which is the basic model for standard tissue processing. Second, we have the STP-122 that includes a fume extraction system with an active charcoal filter for added safety. And lastly, we have the STP-123, which is an advanced version na may fume extraction system, additional paraffin station, and may second cassette basket. Kaya pwedeng mag-process ng up to 240 cassettes. Perfect for high-volume labs just like IPRMC. And next, we have the ease of use. So, pwede mag-set up ng up to 10 programmable modes with immediate or delayed operation options. So, this device rotates smoothly on rulers, kaya madali at safe ang pag-access sa vessels. Next, we have the safety and protection. First, the vapor control. So each vessel cover minimized vapor emissions at ang fume extraction system ay gumagamit ng fan at active charcoal filter para malinis ang vapor. Power failure protection, kapag nagka-power loss, the basket is automatically lowered into the vessel using battery backup, gaya ng in-explain ni Abby earlier. Next, we have the program resume automatically once power is restored. For extended outages, a safety program prevents paraffin solidification. So, may emergency feature rin ang machine. So, may emergency stop button at motion control for extra safety. Next, we have the program deviation and alarm systems. So, this notifies users kapag may program deviations, like extended sample time in a station. Next is my visual and acoustic alarms pa to display the affected station and delay details. The keyboard can be locked to prevent accidental changes during operation. So those are just some advantages of the machine. On the other hand, we have also the disadvantages. So first, it is given na magiging disadvantage na yung cost because of its advanced features tulad ng fume extraction system at programmable software make the STP-120 expensive. So, enhanced model like the STP-123 ay mas mahal pa. Kaya baka hindi ito pasok sa budget ng smaller labs like primary labs. Next, we have the complexity of operation. Dahil sa dami ng programmable options, staff may need a specialized training para magamit ito efficiently. Kung bago ka sa automated systems, the interface might feel overwhelming. Next, we have the maintenance requirements. Kailangan ng regular cleaning or replacement ang components tulad ng active charcoal filter at paraffin stations. Maintenance can be time-consuming and costly, lalo na sa busy laboratories. And next, we have the power dependency. Kapag matagal ang power outage, maaaring malimitahan ang functionality, especially if paraffin solidifies. This reliance on stable power supply can be challenging sa areas with inconsistent electricity. But I think mayroon namang generator sa IPRMC. So this couldn't be a problem. Next, we have the space requirement. Just like how we see yung machine natin sa IPRMC, it's a bit voluptuous. Alright? So, larger models like STP-123 require significant bench space na maaaring issue para sa mas maliit na labs. Sa IPRMC, yung machine natin nasa para siyang small space lang. Tapos parang 3/4 ng machine hindi pa nakapatong. Pero it's safe. Parang safe siya sa lagayan niya. Next, we have the over-reliance on automation. Just like how Ate Abby explained. Automation reduces manual oversight. Kaya mas mataas ang risk ng errors from programming or sensor failure. So once na may isang nagkamali sa mga in-explain ni Ate Abby, this might be a problem. So if system crashes, cold halt operation, and delaying tissue processing. And next, we have the noise and heat generation, which is normal for machines. So, mechanical components and the fume extraction system may generate noise. Prolonged operation of paraffin station can produce heat and affecting the lab condition. And lastly, we have the dependency on consumables. The fume extraction system that require replacement ng mga charcoal filters. Additional reagent and paraffin requirement can add to ongoing costs. So, that's all. That's it for the machine presentation. Now, let's move on to the Q&A rationalization. Okay.
We now move on to the questions and answer with rationalization. For the first question, which of the following is not typically logged at the reception of specimens? A. Accession number. B. Patient's name. C. Date and time of receipt. Or D. Pathologist's signature. The answer is D. Pathologist's signature. The pathologist's signature is not part of this logging process as it typically comes later during the examination and processing phases. Number 2. Which action is typically not part of regular maintenance for a tissue processor? A. Cleaning. B. Changing the filter. C. Replacing the battery. D. Resetting the unit. Or E. Replacing the reagent containers. The answer is letter E. Replacing the reagent. The reagent containers. Sorry. Replacing the reagent containers is part of the preparation for running tissue samples, not a maintenance task.
Question number 3. The STP-120 performs what steps in tissue processing? A. Fixation, dehydration, infiltration, and embedding. B. Fixation, decalcification, infiltration, and staining. C. Fixation, dehydration, clearing, and infiltration. And D. Fixation, decalcification, dehydration, and embedding. And the answer is letter C. Fixation, dehydration, clearing, and infiltration. The thermostat scientific spin processor Microtom STP-120 is an automated tissue processor primarily used for tissue fixation, dehydration, decalcification, clearing, and infiltration. Question number 4. How many reagent beakers are used when using the automated tissue processor? A is 10, B 12, B 11, C 12, and D 13. And the answer is D12. And here are the steps for these are the 12 reagent beakers for the fixation, dehydration, clearing, and infiltration, or even for decalcification.
So question number 5, what is one of the main benefits of using the spin tissue processor 120 in histopathology? A. It replaces pathologists during diagnostic process. B. It automates tissue processing, improving efficiency and consistency. C. It eliminates the need for special stains. And D. It reduces the need for cross-section consultations. And the answer for this is letter B. Next slide. It automates tissue processing, improving efficiency and consistency. The spin tissue processor 120 is specifically designed to automate the complex steps of tissue processing, such as dehydration, clearing, and filtration and embedding. By automating these processes, it reduces manual errors and ensures that results are more consistent. This improved efficiency and consistency are key benefits in histopathology, leading to faster and more reliable diagnosis. Question number 6. How does the spin tissue processor 120 ensure high-quality tissue samples? A. It prevents over-dehydration and maintains tissue integrity. B. It uses a faster embedding technique for better results. C. It reduces the number of tissue samples processed. D. It processes only a single tissue sample at a time. And the answer for this is letter A. It prevents over-dehydration and maintains tissue integrity. One of the primary rules of the spin tissue processor is to control the dehydration and clearing steps during tissue preparation. By doing so, it prevents the over-dehydration of tissue samples, which could otherwise lead to damage and poor quality slides. This process helps to maintain the integrity of delicate tissue structures, crucial for accurate analysis.
So we have here the question number 7. What happens when the time is set to 00 for a reagent vessel? The answer is the basket skips that vessel. So when the time is set to 00 for a particular reagent vessel, the basket will automatically skip that station and move to the next step in the process, saving time. Next, how many customizable programs can the spin tissue processor handle? The answer is 10 programs. So the STP-120 can store up to 10 different programs labeled 01 to 10, which can be customized to handle various tissue processing needs.
Question number 9. What does the spiral agitation feature in the STP-120 tissue processor do? A. Increase processing speed. B. Changes the direction of rotation every 60 seconds. C. Prepare multiple paraffin baths. D. Ensure homogeneous reagent mixing. The answer is letter D. Ensures homogeneous reagent mixing. Spiral agitation in the cassette basket changes rotation direction every 60 seconds to mix reagents thoroughly, ensuring even tissues infiltration. Lastly, question number 10. Which version of STP-120 tissue processor includes an additional paraffin station and a second cassette basket? A. STP-121, B. STP-122, C. STP-123, D. STP-124. The answer is letter C. It's STP-123. The STP-123 is the upgraded version that includes an additional paraffin station and a second cassette basket, doubling the capacity. So that's all. That's it for our presentation. Um, I hope you have learned what we do in ITRMC. See you all in the laboratory.